The world has changed, and so too must the legal framework that governs us. The call for constitutional reform is not an admission of failure, but an acknowledgement of the progress, a recognition that our democracy must be dynamic, responsive, and ever attuned to the needs of our people. On this day, we honor the foresight of His Excellency John Evans Atta Mills, who in 2010 established the Constitutional Review Commission, led by Professor Albert Fiajo. The comprehensive work of that commission, along with the efforts of the Constitution Review Implementation Committee, chaired by Professor E.V.O. Dankwa, laid a solid foundation. More recently, in 2023, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo established the Constitution Review Consultative Committee, chaired by Mrs. Clara Beri Kasati, whose findings were submitted last year in December 2024. These initiatives reflect a long-standing national desire to refine our governance structures, and today we must take the next bold step on that journey. The task before you is critical. You are not just reviewing reports and proposing amendments. You are helping to shape the future of our dear nation, Ghana. Your mandate is to carefully examine past recommendations, identify necessary changes, and create a clear roadmap that will finally lead to meaningful constitutional amendments. This process must not become another chapter in the history of unfulfilled reform efforts. It must be a turning point, a moment when Ghana moves decisively from discussion to action. I understand the weight of responsibility that comes with this task, and I assure you that your work will not be in vain. This will not be an exercise in futility. We are determined to see this process through, and I have every confidence in your ability to deliver results that will serve both the present and future generation of Ghanaians. This exercise is not about any political party. It is about Ghana. It is about ensuring that our Constitution reflects the values, hopes, and dreams of every Ghanaian, regardless of their background or affiliation. Your diverse perspectives will enrich this process, and I urge you to engage widely with citizens from all walks of life in this process. This Constitution must belong to all of us. It must inspire trust, it must unite us, and it must provide a framework for a more just, inclusive, and prosperous Ghana.
Ghana Mampeni, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Bajuku Amo Wate, se Wamunche Ghana Mambrano, Bebia, a Yan Sachrenomo, and na Omani na Yeno, a nay Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Onmunyan for Dominic Aini, and the Atuse Kuenim say, and Mwabia Umihiano, na swe na crowd say. But the memo said a bear, Jumediensono, a BCP, na esita.
Mr. Chairman and members of the Constitution Review Committee, the President and I have invested a lot of hope in your capabilities, experience, and your commitment to the service of our nation. Mr. President was very specific that he wanted a committee consisting of our compatriots who not only represented our country, but who will inspire confidence in our people. He was also clear in his mind that he did not want a partisan committee. So, you have been carefully selected to do this job for our country. The easiest part of the job is to follow the specified methods of alteration of the Constitution. The toughest, and I can say this without any fear of contradiction, is to recommend substantive provisions to add to or replace the current provisions of the Constitution that will conform with the welfare principle of Article 1, Clause 1 of the Constitution, which provides as follows, quote, "The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, in whose name and emphasis and for whose welfare the powers of government are to be exercised in the manner and within the limits laid down in this Constitution." I will be working closely with you, Chairman and members of the committee, in the next 6 months to produce a result that is satisfactory to Mr. President and to our countrymen and women. Notwithstanding that, I wish to thank all of you on behalf of the President and the people of Ghana for accepting to do this labor of love, as the chairman described it on social media, for our country. So God bless you all. God bless our homeland, Ghana. May your work make Ghana great and strong.
Openyi ayabo ni din se eniema etiso na akwemo obeye soafo a wo hwe ya tenaye abefo nimde ne abodi nyansape eye owura Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad nene yetoto na no ewo mrahye bedwafie ne ho no kasa na wo kyeremu se eye ye waste management no wo hwe akoye se akwakodi nkrofo kuma bi nsem eno nti emwa ma egina adwuma no engina ne naso yi wo se nyame adom na obeye soafo a obehwe na wabiem ama na ko fom se de be ya kwan bebie ama obi anya adwuma ni bia yi na afin so ma chacha adwen aboa ama honsem no egina.
If you go to most of our villages, you will find these plastics. I know there is a whole chunk of things that can be done with the plastics. And mostly, both the rural folk and especially the women, they have no jobs. Will you consider finding a way to ensure that these individuals are employed so that they can collect these plastics for us to put into good use, which would also be a job for everyone, notwithstanding whether you are saying it or you are not saying it, whether you are NDC or you are MPP. Will you consider that? That apart, I will say, comrades, bravo.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I think that it's important. My view of waste management in this country is anchored on competition, is anchored on value for money, is anchored on delivery. I intend to demonopolize the management of waste in this country. And by engaging local government authority and SMEs. I believe if we do so, that will be an opportunity to create more jobs for people. In the last parliament, I was a member of the Public Accounts Committee. And when we went around the country, we realized that local authorities...
So be swafo pe obehwe na samra no ye san e de akọ parliament biem na omamuni nyina ya hwem na ya gi atomo.
His Excellency President Mahama spoke immediately after his swearing in. Our must be protected. In this 9th Parliament, that bill will be reintroduced.
Maame no wanka sentia no. Ne mom no wo kire na adwen afa kwan a emra no na ayese omudi hu dwuma o se na etwentwen ne na asedodo. Eno ne ma ne ka asa ne mom nye se ebi a wo hyeda se obekasa etia no.
Do you think that your attack on the Chief Justice of the Republic had any basis? In the excess
Of time have overtaken it. If there is any specific reference you would like to make, I'm willing to respond to that. Thank you.
Did you write on your social media wall those criticisms? Did you write them?
I want to believe that I express my views on social media house. Yes.
We would give you an opportunity to refer to your social media wall and read aloud and in full those criticisms that you don't readily remember. So go to your social media wall, pick it, we'll give you time so that you can read it, then we can proceed.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know about the ranking member, but I'm extremely active on social media. In fact, one of the most active politicians in this country on social media. It will be an exercise for me to say that I am scrolling through the hundreds and thousands of posts to begin to scan and identify. If I had been given 4 notices of this, I could have gotten a team to do that. But I believe that if there's a particular case that is in question, I could be referred to it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, our proceedings allow a member time to rely on an important document. Therefore, if the member will need time to go through the particular post, we would give him the time. He should be able to furnish us with that. So, Chairman, with the greatest respect, let him have the time to make that available.
Mr. Chairman, if there is the need for evidence of that, I can subsequently provide that to the committee. I can print out my entire timeline history for the purposes of the committee, because I will not be able to tell what would be of interest to the questioner. So I'll print out my entire timeline for the committee subsequent to this engagement. Thank you.
Yeremoko Ghana Mampeni, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Sweye Ebiemu Abiyukua Wate Semunye Nhwemu Emfa Ghana Mamra ho baby atosin na yenhwe na yenhye mukina baby ese yensachire yetimi yensachire no Mampeni aka kyerem se omudwumadi a ho ebedi no enye kwa de ombehu bia no oman no bobo ho na ho behia se be yensachire ho a oman no so age atomo.
I have absolute confidence in you all, in your ability to get the job done. Let me also seize this opportunity to remind all of you of the admonition I have given to those who were sworn in earlier. You are in the offices you occupy now with the sole purpose of serving the people of Ghana, who are our employers. You are to accord them the respect at all times, bearing in mind that the power and authority that you exercise stems directly from them. Arrogance and disrespect are not desirable in this government. You must exhibit humanity and modesty in your interactions with the public. Let me remind you that power is transient, and public office is a revolving door that can see you leave just as quickly as you came in. And let me sound biblical here. Go ye forth and put in your very best effort to help us reset this country and make it the Ghana we all want. I thank you for your attention.
Ebusiafo ye jina